for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Our mid-20-something producer, Alex Napolis, I won't give his real age. He's hanging out there.
Napolis, did we introduce you to Yacht Rock?
No. I think he's always been a fan. Napolis,
does this go way back to your?
I was familiar prior to.
Okay. Do you listen to it ironically, or do you enjoy it?
No, there's actually some songs I genuinely enjoy.
Okay. Yes. We got him a little bit, JJ.
Sweet.
Now we're going to hit him with the Christopher Cross concert next summer.
Gotta go.
Oh, my goodness. I sent you guys a thing yesterday. Napolis, would you really spend $500 on a Lionel Messi ticket?
No.
No, okay. All right. I was just wondering.
500 is too much.
Wow.
Okay. I thought you
Soccer guy says
I thought you liked
Messi's not
soccer.
worth $500.
I thought you liked watching the best player in the world, but I guess I was wrong.
You know what's not worth it? Paying $500 and him not showing up.
Now that could be the case. All right.
Regardless, my bank account won't appreciate it.
Yeah, that will not discriminate of you feeling bad. So let's kick things off here on our 5 o'clock hour. We've got Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. We're going to start right there. We're going to ask Pete all sorts of things. Let's get into it right now with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program, your local financial fiduciary. Just go to their website right now, TrajanWealth.com. That's TrajanWealth.com. Pete Fiutak joins us on the program. He does it periodically, and he's nice enough to dip in again as we knew we were going to get a post-final college football playoff rankings reaction from you, Pete, but things have gotten really weird, especially here in Utah. Lots of stuff going on. What were the thoughts on the final college football playoff ranking and where everything's settled? Did you feel good about it?
Yeah, first of all, feeling good and feeling a little weird at the same time. Guys, going back to, Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes, I'm a person of a certain age. That was like playing all the time at like the 1981 NCAA tournament. Like during the NBA, that was like the lead in and lead out for every song. As a little squirty kid, that song stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I'm sitting home pretending to be sick from school so I can watch college basketball, and that's the song that they kept playing every single time.
The smooth tones of Michael McDonald. They got you. They got their hooks in you. Yeah. I love it.
I digress. Yeah. But yeah, to your point, they screwed it up. Either they screwed it up or they tried to pretzel themselves into something because they were catering to the ACC, or I'm not sure what it is. First of all, and you probably have a different take on this, but in my national view and stuff, it's been kind of odd how quiet BYU people have been. Because they should have gotten a lot more love than they did, but I kind of sense that BYU types knew their fate no matter what. And we're kind of angry before this weekend, so fine, whatever. They have a legitimate beef in a lot of different ways, and Notre Dame's the one who really got hosed. Because the problem is this idea when you have the head of the College Football Playoff Committee, who was an athletic director at Arkansas, comes out and says with a straight face that the committee thought that BYU's loss to Texas Tech in performance was blah, but the Alabama performance against Georgia was okay.
Gutsy. It was gutsy.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. I can't remember what it was, but it was that. But you can't. First of all, it was 24/7 Texas Tech with 7 minutes to go. Fine, BYU wasn't playing great, but Texas Tech's a number 4 team in the country, and they were, that was bad, but okay. It was 28-7 with 7 minutes to go in Bama, Georgia, and Georgia just stopped. And so, whatever, and Texas Tech got a few more extra points. Same bad performance. So, okay, so if you're going to do this, either you've got to say that, okay, we're going to make a kind of a judgment that we are not going to punish teams that lose conference championship games because they're playing the extra game. Fine, okay. I get it. While these other teams are sitting on the couch, why should, these guys get punished? So, okay, we're going to keep Bama here at 9. Okay, well, then you got to keep BYU at 11. Then, if that happens, Notre Dame's in. Or you're going to say, BYU looked awful, we're going to move them down one spot. Then you got to move Alabama down one spot, and Notre Dame's in. So they really twisted themselves around to do everything possible to make Miami in. And remember, in the first round of college football playoff rankings, the head-to-head thing was already baked into the cake. Both teams already had 2 losses. Notre Dame was 10, Miami was 18. And they had to work it to do this so we get Miami in the college football playoff.
Crazy.
Yeah, Notre Dame fans are upset. BYU fans are upset. I mean, even their own Twitter account was taking shots and firing missiles. So there's been a lot of angst and a lot of frustration. And I also, Pete, I think what you just talked about with, BYU's losses were so bad, it's actually disrespectful to Texas Tech and what Tech has done. They don't respect Texas Tech like they do Georgia. And I think Texas Tech has a reason to feel kind of slighted as well, even though they are in that top 4 as far as the respect goes. But you wrote on collegefootballnews.com 3 simple fixes to improve and expand the college football playoff. We're all frustrated with the process of the committee and the results. What are the fixes? How do we fix what we see is not working?
Well, first and foremost, the College Football Playoff Committee has got to have a press secretary. You can't be that bad at trying to communicate what you're doing. And I get it. I know these people. I worked with them. I know how it works. That you're trying to leave yourself a ton of outs here. They're trying not to paint themselves into any corner where they have to take these teams and leave out other teams and take their judgment out of the mix, which isn't fair. So you can't just go out there every week and be all cheeky and say, like, well, we kind of thought this week this team did this, but we're not going to share this. Oh, this team could move. You've got to give these teams something to go off of because, again, BYU knew their fate. They basically had to win the Big 12 title. Okay, well, the Notre Dame people were all along saying, well, you kept this high all along. You didn't punish us, so now you're going to do this. So first of all, you've got to come up with some transparency, which means you've got to come up with a hard and fast rule when it comes to conference championships because you cannot do what you just did to BYU and Alabama and ruling it the same. The other key thing is this weekend, instead of expanding, just make this a play-in game. Like, go, okay, fine. So we can't quite decide. We got the 2 teams that are out. Okay, BYU at Notre Dame, James Madison at Tulane. We're playing those 2 games this weekend, and there's your 11 and 12, and we're going to get it from there. Because you can't just – if you expand to 16, then we're having the same argument. I'd be screaming today that Vanderbilt got in even though it didn't play anybody, and USC played teams and didn't get in. So there's always going to be a cutoff. So if you can't get in that playoff, you don't really deserve it. And then finally – just say all Power 4 conference champions are in. Duke should be in over James Madison. They have 7 wins over Power 4 teams. James Madison has none. Don't be a bunch of record rankers. There's a couple of simple tweaks that I think would make this process easier, but man, did they mess this up.
I love the idea of record rankers being like a cuss word. Oh, he's one of those record rankers. Look at you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a record ranker. Here locally, I don't know how much you've been able to dip into it, but the University of Utah is getting close to finalizing a deal to bring private equity, a first-of-its-kind situation. $500 million going to get infused into the athletic department at the University of Utah. It's going to be basically its own LLC, and I would assume that would mean the athletes would be employees. We're not exactly sure how all of it's going to work, but when you saw this, what was the thought, and how on earth is this going to affect the rest of how people are doing? Because we've heard other people threaten something similar.
Oh, it's all sticky. I mean, it's all money. It's all trying to figure it out. It's all paying these guys. And it's okay until you get into the idea of them being employees, and then it gets really weird and really sticky. So it's fine. It's these players are getting paid. You still got to go out there and win games. And, it's not like everyone can do what Texas Tech did, or what Oregon did. So, all right, if you want, a lot of money to be spent out there, you can do it. Look, BYU is in a, great position as well. It's a very wealthy school in a lot of ways, and it's succeeding, obviously, on the basketball court and, in other ways. So it's okay. It's like it's seen as a negative. Just keep remembering, all this is show business. There's nothing noble about college athletics. It's not like, a bunch of students. It was my funniest thing that happened this weekend was they couldn't get anybody to fill these other bowl slots because all the players left. Meanwhile, every other college kid on the planet is studying for finals this weekend. So, like, the whole idea that this is college football
right,
is
come on.
sort of going bye-bye a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I wanted to get your thoughts on Notre Dame, the way they reacted afterwards in opting out of the bowl game. What did you think about that, and what do you think it means for the future of bowl games?
It's fine. They just do a hissy fit, and bowls will survive. They're not going to change anything. Okay, whatever. It's a bad look. I kind of like the idea. The Dan Campbell idea, remember at the end of the regular season a couple years ago when Detroit was awful and they came out and went full throttle against Green Bay and said, we're setting a tone now for the future. This is how we're playing Detroit Lion football. And, yeah, it kind of was awesome. Like, that's what they've done ever since. They've kind of had that attitude ever since then. I kind of think that this would be a chance. If you're Notre Dame, you get out there, we are setting the tone. We are going to just come out and absolutely annihilate BYU, and we are going to show that we are going to go on the revenge tour of 2026 or do something like that. And instead of this, I get what they're trying to do. They don't want to let ESPN get any more money because who gets hurt in this, really? It's ESPN. So that's fine, but I don't think anything big's going to come of it. But it's just a bad look all the way around. But look, that they're also kind of shining a light on the fact that these bowl games are nothing but fun exhibitions. I mean, it's good. We all are going to watch, but it's about the playoff, and all these other games are just kind of for fun unless you're one of these lower end teams where you get to play more football. It's kind of fun. But if you're a high end team and you were told for the last several weeks that you were in the college football playoff and then you're not, I get it. I get them being pretty mad right now.
What's your gut feeling, Pete, on how the college football playoff committee they already punted on when they're going to meet and decide on whether or not they're going to expand? Do they go to 16, do you think, in the offseason here, or was there just not enough push from the biggest players to have that kind of a difference made? And are they just going to skip to 24 at some point along the way? I don't know when they're even going to meet again. I know they pushed it, but I don't know when. But what do you see? What do you think is going to happen with the college football playoff in terms of the number of teams?
All that matters is the Big Ten and SEC are happy. SEC got 5 teams in, so those two are happy. Remember, the SEC got 5 teams in. The Big Ten is the biggest conference in all of sports in terms of, you want to talk about if they get their stuff together with the financials, good night. They're going to just blow everyone else. So they're fine. They got their teams in. They didn't really have another one that should have been in and got hosed, so they're not really all that mad. And so if you expand, you're just going to have the same problems. The issue really is how the college football playoff committee works. You can't be this opaque on the process. You can't just leave it to a panel of judges and just every week they meet in mystery. The reality is they're real people with real jobs and lives. They're not diving into the idea that, look, BYU absolutely smoked TCU. TCU beat SMU, who beat Florida State, and 6 degrees of that. They're not diving that deep into this stuff. So you've got to come up with a better overall system within the confines as it is, because the other thing you don't want to do is start getting to a point where, it's probably a better deal to opt out of a conference championship or not play that rivalry game in Week 12 because you want to save your players. So it's a real sticky mess here. But at the end of the day, everyone's just going to make a lot of money. We're all going to watch no matter what.
You're right. We're all going to watch. And I think that's the key.
Yeah, but
We're
I'll be mad
frustrated
about
with
it.
the committee.
I'm going to be mad about it.
I want the committee to go away. I'm mad at Notre Dame.
Destroy Nebraska.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's going to be weird.
Yeah.
That's going to be the ugliest bowl game of the bunch, by the way.
It could be.
Neither team. I don't know. I don't know if either you're going to get the best shot from either team.
We don't know what Utah's going to field. We're waiting to find out. We haven't heard anything about Kyle Whittingham's status.
They haven't done a press conference
whether their offensive line's going to be intact. We have no idea. It's kind of like a mystery bowl at this point. Although you're right, Nebraska probably has it worse than Utah right now.
Yeah, look at the offense. Take a quick gander at the Nebraska offensive backfield, and if they score 8 points, if Utah shows up at all and Nebraska scores more than 7 points, you're going to be mad.
Looking at the playoff, I mean, we're all frustrated with the committee, but ultimately you're right. We're going to watch these games, and now that we have a college football playoff bracket and you're looking at it, who do you think is going to win this whole thing? And is there one team that can wreck all of it and go on a surprise run?
First of all, I say that jokingly. We're not going to be watching that first round because the Miami Texas A&M game is first, and then the NFL games happen. I believe it's Washington, Philadelphia, which whatever, and then the night game's going to be Green Bay, Chicago. So you're going to tell me that anybody in America besides friends and family are going to sit there and watch Tulane Ole Miss when it was 45-10 the first meeting between those two? And Oregon, I don't know if you're an investment bunch, but that's going to be 52-3. I mean, that is good. Oregon's going to go full throttle. That is going to be as ugly as Oregon wants it to be. That's just woof. That's just a whole lot of ugly for the first round. To me, I complain, I yell. Miami's that good. If Miami's that focused and they come strong with all that NFL talent, Miami's the one team outside of the top who I think could make a real run at this. The other team was Notre Dame, but they're out now. I honestly think, Indiana's good, but I think that was more about Ohio State choking in the Big Ten championship. Georgia's great. That defense is the real deal. And Ohio State is going to wake up, and if they actually decide to put that thing into third gear, I think they beat everyone else. And for some reason, they take it way conservative. They did it against Michigan last year. Did it against Indiana in the Big Ten championship. I think once they get to the college football playoff, it's like enough of this. Here we go. And I think you're going to see the real Ohio State just kick it all in. So to me, it's Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, and Miami are the four teams give the field away, and I think those are the four that have a real shot at winning it all.
What's the future of how the big, like the old New Year's Six Bowls? I love how that was like the old school New Year's Six Bowls that lasted for 8 years or something like that. So
yeah.
what's the future of we were trying to figure out is the Rose Bowl going to be important still? Is the Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl, are those things going to matter much going forward with all of this?
I don't think so for a new generation. The Rose Bowl will always be the Rose Bowl because they've kind of made it that way. There's still nothing quite like, I'm sitting here in 10 feet of snow. There's nothing like New Year's Day when you see the sun and the grass. It is the most beautiful setting for sports anywhere. It's still awesome. That's great. But to your point, is it the Sugar Bowl? Is it the Fiesta Bowl? Is it all these other bowls look exactly the same. There's nothing really unique in the settings or anything. They're just teams playing in NFL stadiums, which are all cookie cutter and look alike. So there really is no difference among any of them. So you're right. I think the bowls just sound like they're big. But all right, that's the only reason why we have the playoff in the first place, because the college football playoff people, we're bowl people, and they still are at heart. And they don't want to screw that system up. And they want to keep that cash cow flowing for everybody.
Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. Pete, love your insights as always. If you want to check out Pete's byline, and he just the thing about Pete is you just get a straightforward look at how these stories go, and so we love having him on. Appreciate it, Pete. Have a good one in that 10 feet of snow, brother.
Absolutely. You have a good one, guys.
Pete Fiutak, everybody. All right, we'll take the break here. We'll come back. When we return, we've got our NFL Blitz. I think we have some Jazz tickets still to give away. Come on, man. Let's get it going. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
News and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You know what day it is, JJ?
What?
It's Tuesday.
Well, I knew that.
It's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday. Come
that's
on.
where you got me.
Let's get it going.
Let's give away some tickets.
801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. That's going to get you a pair of tickets to see the Jazz and the Lakers at Delta Center on December 18th. That's next Thursday. So we got you hooked up. You want to see the Lakers come to town? We can't technically say that Lakers fans can't win. You do have to be a resident of the state of Utah, though. I will say that.
Yes.
That's part of the rules. So these people who want to win the tickets and then show up with their Shaq jersey on.
Oh, man.
You know those guys.
Yeah, I know
used to
who they are.
when our show was in the master studio over here at KSL Radio, everybody would be walking by for Jazz games, and on the Lakers nights, it was so annoying.
I know.
So you know what? win those tickets right now, 801-575-ZONE, caller number 12. Go there and give all those Lakers fans that show up to Delta Center what for. Why do they do – I just have a quick question before we get to our NFL roundup here, our NFL Blitz. What's the point of doing the college football playoff committee's funny because they'll go, hey, here's your full bracket, right? JMU, Tulane, blah, blah, blah. They go through. It's a nice graphic. It's like a nice 3D. It's all shiny.
Yeah.
Okay? Why do they include the first teams out? Don't even do it. Because it's kind of weird because it's prominent in the middle of the screen between the national championship football at the bottom
the NCAA tournament.
and the one I know.
We always do it for the NCAA tournament.
But why do they do it? Why do they do it?
To give
Is it a consolation?
Recognition to the teams
no,
that were close?
They don't. There's not a soul who wants to see that on either side. But we were the first one out. There's no freaking way. So when they put it on
being the third or fourth one out.
But isn't it funny? Because like my eyes are drawn to right here. And
yeah,
it says
right
Notre Dame BYU is the first team.
It looks like they're playing in a championship.
Well, they
game.
could have played each other.
They could have played in a championship of Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart championship. Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame said, no thanks. We're going to act like babies, and we're not going to play anymore this year.
I just love their standing on their principles. I love when people are coming out of the woodwork saying,
come on.
All right.
Clown show.
The NFL Blitz, firing it up here. I gave out the phone number, didn't I? Just want to make sure. Okay. All right. I think I did. It happened 5 seconds ago. I can't remember. All right, good. Annapolis is getting calls. That's good. The Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. By the way, last night was a mess, and for two reasons. They had the Monsters, Inc. game, which was one way that I got my daughters to watch Monday Night Football,
so
my
it's
youngest
working.
Ones.
That marketing is working.
I mean, I guess. Do they need a 2.5-year-old and a 5-year-old? My two daughters are like, they hate when we turn football on. Because, like, no, you know what I mean? And it's like, sorry.
Well, they're thinking about the next generation. How do they pull in the kids?
So, they
don't want to become baseball.
Watching that Monsters, Inc. thing, it was weird. It was a mess. But the bigger mess was
how many touchdowns did Mike Wazowski score?
It was Mike Wazowski and Sully, and half the time I didn't know which player they were actually talking about. And I'm like, which guy is this? Who did he throw it to? It gets it to Mike Wazowski. I'm like, no, but who really caught it? Some fantasy points are on the line here. Let's go.
Right.
Jalen Hurts was an absolute disaster. He's a guy who is really good at holding on to that football and not turning it over very much. And I think what did he have before last night? 2 interceptions? But he doesn't have a lot of interceptions on the year.
No, it's not. He doesn't do that a lot.
4
he had
last
a rough night.
4 last night.
5 turnovers total.
First player in the history of the NFL with 2 turnovers on one play.
That play was insane.
And you know what was more insane? Watching it, the stupidity of the animation trying to keep up with it. Because in my mind, I'm going, well, they're just making stuff up at this point. When I went back and watched the actual play, I was like, oh, it was a mess. That was terrible. That's awful football. Anyway, Justin Herbert and the Chargers get the win. Are you concerned as an Eagles fan that, like, I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs at the very least as a wild card, right?
Well, they're leaving the Cowboys in the mix. No, there's no guarantee that they get in as a wild card.
I just think they're going to.
I'll show you what it looks like right now.
Some things out here.
Look where they're at.
Tell me what you got.
Okay. They're 8-5. Yes, they're in first place in that division, but the Bears are 9-4. The Lions are 8-5. If the Eagles get caught by the Cowboys,
so
they could miss the playoffs.
They need to. They won't
and you
win.
Say there's no way. Well, the Cowboys are 6-6-1. They're only a game and a half back. With 4 to play.
I think the Eagles will end up winning the division. I think they might pull it together enough for that. But this is not a championship caliber team.
I'm not seeing that. You're right. No, I don't think so. So then your mind goes to, okay, then if the Eagles don't have it this year, this thing's wide open. The Chiefs don't have it this year, and the Eagles don't have it this year. One probably misses the playoffs for sure. The other could possibly here if they don't get their act together. Who's going to win this thing? Who are the favorites?
No idea.
That's kind of exciting.
So it is confirmed. I mean, last night it was reported, and the sources were good. But now Phillip Rivers is unretiring, and he's going to sign with the Colts.
He's a grandpa.
That has been the story. That's been the storyline.
He has a biological child older than Riley Leonard, the other quarterback in the room.
That's awesome. Keep these Phillip Rivers facts coming, man. That's awesome. 44.
Yeah.
He's 44 years old. And I don't know what to think. there's part of me that goes, come on, man, stop it. This is a joke. And there's part of me that goes, I want to see Phillip Rivers make a start.
Yeah.
I want to see it, man. And by the way, they don't sign guys and get them onto the practice squad with the thought of, no, we're just keeping them on the practice squad. They go, we're going to sign him up here, get him on the practice squad, let's get some reps here, and then we'll elevate him on the roster if we think he's going to be doing it.
He was darn close to becoming the first Hall of Famer to play a game.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's almost eligible for the Hall of Fame.
He's 5 years out.
I don't know if he gets in, but I'm just telling you, like, that's how close. Can you imagine somebody who's in the Hall of Fame saying, I'm going to unretire and go play?
Oh, man. But I'm telling you, Phillip Rivers at 44 is not Tom Brady at 44.
No, it's not. But the fact that he is even trying this is insane, and all of us 40-somethings really appreciate it.
By the way, Week 15 coming up in the NFL. Week 18 is the end of the season. So you've got 4 more games left. And the Rams, Patriots, and your Denver Broncos can all clinch with a win this weekend. Or some help from some losses around there, too. But that's crazy. I'm trying to think. Bo Nix, so he got him to the playoffs last year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first-round exit for them.
Yes.
Wild card exit, right?
Yes.
They're going to be a 13-win team at least, right? Like, they're going to win. They're going to be 13-4. They're going to be 13-4, 14-3.
Here's the remaining schedule. Packers this weekend, great game. Can't wait for that. Jaguars, no cakewalk.
Right.
Chiefs on Christmas Day, and then they finish with the Chargers.
So the Chargers game.
It's not an easy schedule.
Yeah, but you know what, if they have already clinched at that point, the Chargers game is a throwaway. You know that.
Right.
Week 18 or what used to be Week 17.
It could be for the division.
They will.
The Chargers got a big win last night.
That'll be one of those. And you know what it'll do? It'll probably boost the Chargers maybe into a wild card spot. But I'm telling you, that game won't matter to the Broncos. And you know what they're going to do? It's going to be one of those 34-3 games that no one cared about right before the playoffs, because that's just how it works. Like, you know,
the Broncos will have something to play for because of home field advantage, potentially the number 1 seed.
That might be on the line.
They're tied with the Patriots right now, 11-2. So
imagine how weird that is to say that they're tied. To say, oh no, they're tied up, man, and to have this thing go and have to have a tie break to that's a crazy thing. Who are some of these people? Did Christian Cox?
Cox just walked into the building.
Gosh, I just got flustered.
Yeah. And we have some players that are starting to filter in with their families.
I think Christian Cox is going to speak to the young men today, so that's going to be a cool thing. Let me see here. Let's take our break. We'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. I'll tell you what we do have when we come back. We got a best and worst. There's a lot of worst, I feel like. We need to be a little bit more positive, JJ.
What's worse is BYU basketball
Can we find a best? Oh, is it still going poorly?
I'll have an update when we come back.
It is not going well. Oh, that's at the half. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. We'll take a break. More to go. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
Welcome in, everybody. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Final segment of the hour here. And we're going to chat with Haley from Hercules First Federal Credit Union also in just a moment. She's this old hat for her, though. It's like, at this point, she just it all just rolls off the tongue, JJ. She knows what she's doing now.
She's a real pro.
Yeah. So we'll get to Haley, and she'll tell us why Hercules means so much to this prep community here that we're honoring tonight, and also for our Hercules Hero of the Week award, which we give out every week. Best and worst brought to you by Doug Smith Dealerships in American Fork, Spanish Fork, and in Linden. Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chevy, Subaru, Kia, and now Mitsubishi in the full fold of the family of dealerships with Doug Smith. Nobody knows cars like Doug. Best of the day, Ben Anderson's White Sox just earned the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 draft.
The Chicago White Sox.
How about that?
Tanking worked.
Man, they've been bad for a couple of years. Like, awful bad, right? I mean, it's just been – I like when teams get a number 1 overall pick, but MLB is worse than NHL when you talk about a number 1 overall pick and what that means.
Yeah.
The Bryce Harpers and the
I couldn't tell you the last 5 MLB first number 1 overall picks.
The Bryce Harpers of the world, like, that can turn around and start playing immediately, that's not really a thing. You know what I mean? And so it's not really something that affects it anymore. But I do like to see. I'd love to see the White Sox figure it out. Old South Chicago, man. You can't. Again, the Cubs are in town. They're always the biggest game in town. It's fine.
No, I know. Nobody cares about the White Sox.
I know, except for Ben Anderson. I just read during the break here, Pete Bevacqua. That's one of my favorite names to say, by the way. Athletic director for Notre Dame, who, by the way, is treated like a commissioner of his own conference.
It feels like it, right?
And it just doesn't help because he sits down in every meeting they have. It's Greg Sankey, it's Petiti, it's Brett Yormark, it's whoever the ACC guy is anymore. I said the ones that are important. But they all sit down. Who's the commissioner of the ACC? Well, anyway, I don't care. And the Notre Dame AD cares who it is. Jim Phillips, of course. Yeah, so all those guys sit down, and Pete Bevacqua is in those meetings.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird thing where it's like, we got to ask mommy and daddy permission. That's why the outrage is happening.
Yeah.
Because Notre Dame didn't get something that they want for once. And I was reading their statement, and when I read it out loud, it was like, thank you so much to our fans and families and support. And Bevacqua claims that Marcus Freeman and the players unanimously decided to not play this game. I just thought, I don't know if that's really the case. However, they did tell the fans at the end of the press release, we can't wait to bring a 12th national championship to South Bend in 2026.
How arrogant.
Well, they get that something that kicks in this 2026 contract.
If they're top 12, they're automatically
That's it. Top 12, they're automatically in. So they push out JMU. So that's the fix.
Yeah.
Right? If Notre Dame is number 12 next year,
they'd push out BYU.
They would have pushed out BYU. Imagine how that would go over.
Oh boy.
And so they get an inclusion clause basically in this contract that if they're top 12 next year, they're going to the college football playoff, and that's a guarantee for them. And that's a way to fix having your just get one G5 in. We don't need to have this riffraff playing these games. Come on. So anyway, that's your worst of the day is Notre Dame saying they're going to bring their 12th national championship to South Bend. By the way, the last one was won 38 years ago.
I have something that was worse than that.
What is it?
BYU's first half against Clemson in the Jimmy V Classic.
What was the actual score at the half?
43-22. They were trailing unranked Clemson 43-22 at the half.
Yeah, Clemson's a good quad 2 opponent, though. You know.
Yeah, Clemson's got some players
I have
that are
no
good.
Idea. What are they going to end up being? I don't know.
Like they got Jake Wallin, who played at Utah. He's from Utah.
Here's what's great about basketball. You lose games like this, and it's like,
Carter Welling.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, Carter Welling and Jake Wallin are from Utah, and they play for Clemson.
And if they have wins, or if they have losses against number 3 UConn, and then you lose a game on the road in the Jimmy V Classic against the Clemson Tigers, then by the end of the year, look, BYU's going to end the season with 8 losses or 10 losses, whatever it's going to be. Because
they're going to lose games.
Right. And so it's not one of those things that, you should get all hung up on. Although they have gone on a 10-0 run to start out the 10-1. 10-1 run.
They're back in it, down 12.
Yeah, back in it. We'll see. We'll see what kind of fight they put up. JJ, we're going to take a longer break here. I'm going to go up and introduce actually, I have the best job. I just say welcome, and then I say food's ready in the back, and then they start to eat. I introduce
everybody. Nobody's better at it than you.
Listen, nobody's been better at introducing the food. Nobody.
I introduced the best food.
It's great. It's great in the back there, JJ. It's really good. What do we have here? Oh, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. So I'm gonna go get the introductions going. We appreciate Hercules CU for getting on board, of course, with us today, and we're going to take the break here. Stay with us. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.